Imagine starting a country from scratch, betting everything on a radical, almost crazy idea that people could actually govern themselves. No kings, no emperors, just a piece of paper and a whole lot of rebellion. Welcome to the Great American Experiment. In just a few centuries, a handful of scrappy colonies clinging to the edge of a vast continent transformed into the most powerful economic and military force on the planet. How did it happen? And what did it cost? Buckle up, because we're covering the entire history of the United States, from the very beginning to right now. Before it was a nation, it was a collision of worlds. For thousands of years, thriving indigenous civilizations ruled the continent. Then came 1492, and European powers began a frantic scramble for the New World. The British established their first permanent foothold in Jamestown in 1607. Fast forward a century and a half, and we have 13 distinct colonies. They were getting incredibly fed up with the British king sitting 3,000 miles away, treating them like a giant ATM. Taxes on stamps, glass, and tea? That was just the excuse. The real powder keg was a burning desire for autonomy. In 1776, they dropped the mic with the Declaration of Independence. Against all odds, a ragtag militia, with some crucial help from France, beat the mighty British Empire. They drafted a constitution, a flawed but brilliant blueprint, and the United States was officially on the map. The 19th century was defined by one obsession: moving west. It was called Manifest Destiny, the belief that America was destined to stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The Louisiana Purchase doubled the country's size overnight. Pioneers pushed boundaries, and railroads connected the coasts. But this massive expansion had a dark shadow. It came at a devastating cost to Native Americans, who were violently forced off their ancestral lands. And underneath this rapid growth lay a ticking time bomb: slavery. The founding ideals of liberty for all violently clashed with the brutal enslavement of millions of African Americans. In 1861, the bomb went off. The Civil War tore the country in two. It remains the deadliest conflict in American history. The Union was saved, and slavery was abolished, but the scars and the long struggle for true equality would echo for generations. Cut to the turn of the 20th century. The U.S. transforms from a farming nation into an absolute industrial titan. Steel, oil, skyscrapers, and electricity changed the world forever. But it wasn't a smooth ride. The dizzying highs of the roaring 20s crashed spectacularly into the Great Depression of the 1930s. It took a massive government effort, the New Deal, and ultimately the staggering mobilization of World War II to pull the country out of the economic mud. When the dust settled in 1945, much of Europe was in ruins, but the United States stood completely untouched, emerging as an undisputed global superpower, holding the ultimate, terrifying weapon: the atomic bomb. The second half of the 20th century was defined by a massive, staring contest with the Soviet Union, the Cold War. It was a battle of ideologies fought through proxy wars, spies, and a literal race to the stars. In 1969, America won the ultimate prize by planting its flag on the moon. Back on Earth, the 60s brought a revolution. The Civil Rights Movement, led by heroes like Martin Luther King Jr., forced the nation to confront its racial injustices and fight to actually live up to its constitutional promises. By 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. America was the sole global superpower. And then, out of American garages, came the internet, a technological boom that connected the entire globe and fundamentally changed human existence. The 21st century has tested the nation in completely new ways. The tragedy of 9/11 redefined global security. Economic shifts, political polarization, and the digital age have challenged the very fabric of society. Yet, the engine keeps turning. The United States is a country of intense paradoxes. It is constantly arguing with itself, constantly reinventing itself. It is a nation built by immigrants, continually shaped by new voices, still trying to perfect that original radical experiment started in 1776. The history of the U.S. isn't just a timeline of dead guys and dates. It's a messy, living story of progress. And the next chapter? It's being written right now. If you enjoyed this rapid-fire journey through history, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments, which specific era of American history should we do a deep dive into next?